guys, it's Andrew here from Eastonmade Wood Splitters today, and welcome back to the Eastonmade channel. I am out here in the wood yard and I'm actually delivering some firewood today. I don't deliver a whole lot of firewood myself. Most of the firewood we have here goes to the employees or people that need it. That's kind of what we do. A lot of the folks that work here have wood burning appliances and burn wood themselves, so it's kind of a good perk for the employees. We've got to split it, and a lot of the times what we're doing is most of our wood isn't all that consistent. We're running it through different wedges, different machines, so it's kind of hard to charge somebody for that wood. But what I'm doing is I do deliver the odd load here and there to friends and family. So I've got a good buddy of mine, Lester. I'm gonna go and drop Les off a couple of loads of wood this afternoon. It is Friday. I've got the kids with me. They're down over there. I'm not quite sure if you can see them. Hi, Jack. The kids are over there. They're building themselves a fort because we're getting a little bit of rain here, so they're having lots of fun playing with some skids and some pallets over there. Anyways, I guess that's how you learn. Anyways, guys, what I have here is we have our DSC10 disc screener, and it has the attached conveyor on the end of it here. There's several different ways to do this. You can have a conveyor come up here, feed into the disc screener. The nice thing about the disc screener is it doesn't really matter the orientation of it. You can side load, you can go on the end, whatever you need to do there, you can do that. So it's very versatile compared to a drum tumbler. It's a lot more versatile. And then we also have an option for a chute on the back of it here, so you can load into a conveyor and have one of our STK24s or 32s with the radial stacking if you wanted to do it that way too. And then what we have over here is we have one of our power packs. It's a 14 horsepower power pack. It's on wheels, it rolls around real nice, and that's actually what powers the disc screener here. It just hums along there. It doesn't need to run very quickly. It doesn't burn a lot of fuel. It's just kind of a nice setup. You can move it around with you. If you have other conveyors you need to run, you can run them with it. If you're doing a large volume of firewood, guys, this is well worth your money to buy one of these things, because by the time you pay somebody's wages to hand stack firewood into a dump trailer, into a pickup truck, you can do it with this and you can get amazing results with it. You can get really clean firewood. It takes all of this kind of stuff out of all the scrap wood, the dirt, the snow, whatever. It takes it out of it and doesn't end up at your customer's house, and it's a quality control thing for you guys. Now there's other ways to do this, guys. Like we have a rock bucket. Right now I have a great big bucket, a great big closed in bucket on the skid steer right now. The rock buckets work okay. It's not really the full solution for it. It does help, but you still get a lot of scraps. Because when you go up and pick up a bucket full of wood with your grapple, you still have a lot of this kind of stuff on the top, right? You still have all of these kinds of pieces, so it doesn't rid your load of that stuff, where with this it does. So again, there's different ways of doing it. The rock buckets work well, yeah, they do. It definitely helps keep a lot of snow out of, a lot of the dirt out of it, depending on how you're set up. Ideally you'd have a blacktop yard, but not everybody has that. So anyways, guys, I will quit rambling. I will go ahead, I will show you how this works. We'll get this load of wood delivered. If you haven't done so yet, give her a big thumbs up, hit the subscribe button down at the bottom. Make sure you leave a comment. We've had a couple of swag draws here the last couple of videos, and that's been going really well. So if you drop a comment down below, you will be entered into a swag draw for this video. We will draw a winner. I will contact you. We will send you shirts, hats, whatever swag you want, we will send it out to you. So you make sure you drop a comment down below, and then you will be entered into that draw. Anyways, guys, I'll get at her. Well, guys, I'm not quite sure if you can hear me or not. I'm just getting used to this whole microphone thing, so if you can't hear me, I apologize. It probably won't make it to the video. But if you can, here we go. So, like I said, this bucket that we have on here right now is a fairly large bucket for a skid steer. Not quite sure where we got it, but it does hold quite a bit of wood. And you can see that typically you can get away without grabbing a whole pile of dirt, but it's all that slash that's up in here that tends to be the problem with it. And when you go to load one of these outfits, you can't just dump the wood right in. You want to kind of trickle it in. With a 20-footer, you can get a little bit more wood into it. It's a little more forgiving. So with a 10-footer, you want to just trickle the wood into it. So like I said, we do have two different sizes of disc screeners. We have this one here, which is a 10-footer, which works out really well if you have a skid steer or a tractor or something of that sort to load it, where if you have a big payloader, backhoe or something like that you load your wood with, you're going to probably want the 20-footer, just because it's a little more forgiving. The buckets are a little bit bigger on there. So, but you can see just in that one bucket load, here, let's see if I can bring it down. Is camera still up there? Oh, it is, look at that. So you can see underneath the disc screener right now how much stuff has actually come out of just that one bucket load of material. So if you didn't have the disc screener and you were loading this just with the bucket, you'd have all that stuff in the pile. And when you're delivering firewood, you want to have the best quality stuff that you can have, because with this business, if you're in the firewood business, client retention is number one. That's the most important thing if you're doing firewood, because if you don't have a good product to deliver to a customer, they're not going to call you back next year for next year's wood. So when you're doing this, you want to try and have as good a quality of product as you can. Hopefully we got her all there, guys. And like I said, there's lots of different ways you can set these up too, like with different conveyors. If you want to have radial stacking, our other conveyors, like our SDK24s, work really good for it. And like we can build big hopper wings for them too. So if you want to dump directly into the conveyor itself, you can do that. Or if you want to again radial stack, it's a lot more forgiving if you have the big hopper wings on it. And in terms of this over the drum tumblers, these are a lot easier to move. So if you don't have big equipment, like if all you have is a skid steer, you can still move one of these DSC10s, but you still need to have a good chunk of a skid steer too. The lift capacity on the JCB here, I think, is right around 3,500 pounds, which is a fairly good sized skid steer. So if you are doing this and you want to move one of these around, you want to have a good sized skid steer to do it. That being said, if you had a drum tumbler, they're incredibly heavy. And if they aren't incredibly heavy, they're not worth you buying, especially in a commercial application, because when you get these things made out of angle iron and light steel, these things take a pile of abuse. Like you're dropping bucket loads of wood onto these things. It's typically a pretty violent procedure of what you're doing here. So you want to make sure that if you're buying something, it's going to be built right and built to last. And especially when you're delivering firewood, that's when you're trying to make money. It's typically going to be in the fall of the year, maybe through the winter. But you don't want this thing to be broken down on. You don't want to have to be doing a whole pile of welding and repairs on it. So it's important to have something that's going to last for you. And you can see there the material that's coming out of there. You can see I haven't picked up a whole pile of dirt with the bucket here. But again, it depends on what your yard's like. It depends on, especially the time of year. Like right now, it's fairly dry here, so it's not like we're digging into the digging into the ground and picking up a pile of mud. It's not like we're grabbing a whole pile of snow, but they work really good for getting rid of the snow too. So if you do have your wood in a pile like that's a big stockpile, you want to deliver it again, the cleaner the wood you can deliver, the happier your client's going to be about getting that wood. And the more apt they are to tell a friend or to call you back and buy next year's wood too. You can see that one there, we got a lot of material out of that one there. A lot of junk. And our trailer that I have here, it'll hold about 2 full cords of wood. So it holds a pretty good load. The gooseneck works really nice, and it's galvanized too, so it's it doesn't require a whole lot of maintenance. The N&N trailers are pretty good for that. There's a handful of other guys I've seen on YouTube that have had them, and we don't operate ours commercially by any means, but we've had really good luck with it. And typically we're not terribly easy on things. If the dump trailer goes out, it's normally somebody from the shop or somebody may not be quite as experienced running it, and it's just something natural when oh, we lost a couple there. It's just something natural when somebody's a new operator getting onto something that you're gonna run into stuff like that. And again, it's one of those things we try to do for the guys in the shop here to give them a bit of a perk to the job. I might put one more bucket load in that thing, and then I'll move that other camera, and then I might move that dump trailer. So this is where the radial stacking would be nice. If you had, excuse me, if you had the SDK24 on the bottom of that, you could use a bucket of the skid steer just to push it over and keep filling up your trailer without having to get out of the skid steer. So that is an option there too. well, guys, there you have it. You have a really nice clean load of firewood right here. There was not really a whole lot of manual labor, and that's going to be as clean as you can get it in a mechanized process like this. You're still going to get a little bit of it. However, in one dump trailer load, that is what came out of that. And I know a lot of people think that that is a waste of wood, but honestly, guys, a lot of that's scrap stuff. It doesn't matter how you split it. Like, unless you're doing it with like a single wedge and handling every single piece, which obviously isn't very efficient, you're gonna get that. So with one of these disc greeners, it really helps out and cleans the wood well, and you gain a lot of time back. For what you pay for one of these, you're not gonna hire a guy to manually handle wood for what one of these things costs. And if you're looking at buying one of these things and you want it for this season, call us now. Now is the time to order this if you want one for the fall. And like I said, we have different configurations of the disc screener. This is a DSC10 with an attached conveyor on it. We do a 20 footer, like I said, for guys that have payloaders, backhoes, bigger things like that. This size works good for a lot of guys that run skid steers and such. Anyways, guys, if you liked the video, give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to comment down below to enter this week's swag draw. And make sure you give her a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. I really hope to see you on the next one. Take care, guys.